Hi y'all. Today I'm going to talk about the WordPress block editor, also called Gutenberg. It was introduced in December 2018 and has changed the way we write posts and even some pages in WordPress. WordPress describes the block editor as a modular approach, as each piece of content, whether it's a headline, a paragraph, or an image, is its own block. I absolutely love the block editor. It allows the user to easily add content and takes much of the guesswork out of writing posts. Many plugins add their own blocks to the editor. One great example is the popular form building plugin Gravity Forms. You can quickly add a form anywhere in your post or page. Before we start posting, let's set up our interface just like we like it. I'm going to click these three buttons on the top right. These are our options. And this top section is our view. So how do we want our interface to look? Now, the top toolbar will keep this information at the very top of the window at all times. Spotlight mode will focus on one block at a time, and it dims the rest of the blocks. Full screen mode is just what it says. It gives you a full screen and eliminates the WordPress sidebar on the left. And we have the visual editor and the code editor. We can write here. If we want to write our entire post in HTML, we can do that here. These are Jetpack settings, and what we can do is click on preview when we're through with our post, click on preview and see what our link is going to look like on social media sites. Also, we can get our short link that's automatically generated by Jetpack. Yoast SEO settings are here too. We have the block manager, and we can manage our reusable blocks, set up keyboard shortcuts, and our preference. Do we want the pre-published checklist, which is actually pretty cool. And yeah, I think I want to show most used blocks. And just some of these things that you can go through yourself and choose which ones you want to see on your screen. Okay, let's dig into the Gutenberg or block editor in WordPress. This is our new post screen, and we're just going to build a little test post just to play with it and see what everything does. Here's where I would add a title. If I want to go ahead and add my title, test post. Sounds like a good title. And I can just add a block, which is the basic unit of content in Gutenberg, and you'll see what that means. I can just start typing, and I've got my lorem ipsum text, or I could click on this plus, click paragraph, and then start typing. But it'll create a paragraph if you're not really if you don't specify. If I can, I'll space down after this paragraph, and let's add another block. Let's add, and if you don't see the block you're looking for, you can search. I want to add a list. And you see it already gives me a bullet. If I wanted to make it an ordered list, I could just click on the 1, 2. But I'm going to stick with the bullets. This is a bullet list. Okay, there's my list. There's my list. Now, what if I decide, you know what, I think I'd really like to start the post with the list instead of the paragraph. Do you see this little arrow here? I can just click that and move it up or move it back down. Another example of a block you'll use a lot is the image block. And I can click here and then upload the image Actually, I need to select the image because I've already put it in my media library. And here's my image now. I can add an alt tag before I add it, or I can add it later. And here's my image. I want to align it center. If I want to make my image a link, here's where I'd add the link. Or I can decide I'd want a different image and replace it. Over here on the right, these are block styles. And I could have my default be a rounded image or just a square image. And here's where I could add my alt text. Now I can choose the image size here. I can actually specify the width, or I can do it by percentage. Under Advanced, I can give the image a title attribute, or I can give it an HTML anchor if I want a link to come directly to this image. And here are additional CSS classes that I can give my image. And that works for any other block. Now if I click over here onto Post, then this is information related to the entire post. So here's my permalink, which is just test, because that's the, notice that's the title. WordPress fills that in automatically. And I can put this in a category. I'll just put it in Apps and Tools, not that it goes there. And here's where I'll add my tags. Here's where I'll add my featured image, which I've already done, and the excerpt. For the excerpt, I like to use the very same excerpt that I use for my Google preview for Yoast SEO. And here are post attributes with whichever template. I can choose any of my theme, and this is governed by the theme, but my theme provides different templates for posts, and I just use the default. The rest of these are individual plugin settings that I'm not going to go into detail right now. So those are the post settings and the block settings. You notice here you can add a drop cap. If I wanted to click into that paragraph and add a drop cap, I could do that. That's kind of cool. I actually like it. If you have a block that you want to always be on every post or frequently, or used frequently, you can actually make that a reusable block. And here's how. I click on those three dots and add to reusable blocks, and it's going to add it, and the block has been created. So if I go down here, and that was my list that I added to reusable, and to add my reusable block, I just click here to add it, and then I can search for it. REU is usually enough to pull it up. Untitled reusable block. Click, and there it is. So those are reusable blocks. Those are great for any sort of call to action, or at one time I had a email capture form that I had created, and I just put that at the bottom of every post. I know there are probably better ways to do that, but that's one way. Thanks for watching this video. I'd love for you to subscribe to my YouTube channel. Just hover over my logo in the bottom right corner and you'll see the red subscribe button pop up. I add new videos each week, usually on Monday or Tuesday. For more information about WordPress, check out my blog at bethgsanders.com. Have a great week, y'all. Bye now.